So UCLA wins a squeaker over Iowa on a controversial call, and Notre Dame goes down in double overtime, and the odds for JuJu Watkins goes up for Player of the Year. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video. Our first show is tonight, Rob, for Caitlin Clark's crossover. It's going to be a live panel from 6 to 7 Eastern time, and then our regular live show from 7 to 8:30. Please join us for that. Adrian Ross, Rudy from Come On Now Podcast, and Ak Nation TV. Ak from Ak Nation TV is going to be there.
All the way live, Mark. It's going to be all the way live.
All going to be live. It's going to be like a sports reporter type format. Okay, so last night, Rob, we'll talk about the call, which we both agree was a trip and not a foul on Lucy Olson, and we're going to show it and let you decide. But everyone seems to think it was a bad call by three refs, two of which I think had the correct angle for it and still didn't get it right.
Yeah.
So as you can see, there's 6.8 seconds left, and UCLA has the ball, and they're inbounding the pass, and let's see what happens.
Inbounder. All right. Arnesalo has it. What's the draw up?
So that was Lucy Olson got called for a foul. Unbelievable.
I just got tripped.
And we're gonna play a second angle, and then we're gonna play them both in slow motion.
There's a collision.
With another angle from the front, the top of the
so
key.
loud that we couldn't even hear the whistle.
Yeah, she's like, what? I agree with you, Lucy. What?
Olson, which means Arnesalo, the freshman, goes to the free throw line with 3.8 to go.
Here we
Fouls
go.
have been a big story of this second
Sticks
half.
her leg out.
Let's take
trips
another
over it.
look at it. So Olson
Foul on
kind
the
of
person that gets
tripped on
tripped.
her own, and as a
This is a better
result,
view.
she
I
tripped
don't even think we need to play this in
Arnesalo,
slow motion. It's
which
so
you have
obvious.
to
It's
call. I mean,
like
she
moving
slides
with her arm
under
out,
her.
her leg out.
Yeah.
On that last angle, it was a good angle. I'll play that in slow motion. Here it is in slow motion from the top of the key.
Kind of
Watch the screener's foot.
on
As she
her
steps out.
own, and as a result,
Yes.
I don't know what to say. That seems like such an obvious call to me, Rob. But
Exactly.
which you have to call.
Commentary, I love it.
Slides
It's
under
perfect.
her.
the fans didn't like it, I don't think. So that was a no-brainer to me, but I figured I'd show it anyways. It's an awful call. It was tied. It probably would have gone into overtime. But if she had gotten fouls, maybe she would have gotten some free throws. And but I think wouldn't have been. I don't know if they were in the bonus or not. If they would
Betts was in foul trouble, so if it went to overtime, I would, like you said, I would definitely have a chance to win the game if it went to overtime.
Right. So anyway, and also actually UCLA went on to win. Although they're probably not going to be ranked number 1, even though Notre Dame lost, because Texas was ranked number 2 and UCLA was ranked number 3. And Texas still only has 2 losses. And they're playing in the tougher SEC tournament. So they were ranked number 2 last week. And it comes out today at 1 o'clock. We're recording this at 9 in the morning. So today on Monday. So I suspect Texas will be number 1 for the first time all year today. And Notre Dame lost. So we know they're dropping down below UCLA. They may drop behind USC because USC only has 2 losses. So Notre Dame may drop to number 4. Texas will be number 1. UCLA will be number 2. And USC will be number 3. And UConn will probably stay at number 5. And South Carolina, LSU, I think all the same. Ohio State lost this week, so they'll probably drop.
Right.
But, Rob, I figured out that looking at the rankings, as you can see there, SEC appears to be the toughest conference. They have 7 teams in the top 18, and they have the 2, the 6, and the 7 seed. So that's Texas and South Carolina and LSU. Now, the Big Ten is probably the next toughest, They have 6 in the top 25, and they have the 3, the 4, and the 8. UCLA, USC, and Ohio State, although they're probably dropping. And the ACC has 5 teams in the top 20, and they have number 1 Notre Dame, who's no longer to be number 1, and number 9 at North Carolina, and also 11 Duke. So those are the current rankings. Again, they come out at 1 o'clock today. That's all going to change. So we'll see what happens.
I think the rankings are also going to determine who's going to be player of the year, too. That's also an influence, I'm sure, on the voters.
Right, because Notre Dame lost, and Hannah Hidalgo did not shoot well. She forced some shots, and she hasn't been shooting well lately. She was actually the front runner for player of the year, and then it was Lauren Betts for a week or two, and then JuJu Watkins is the front runner. She's like a 2/3 favorite to win. The year started out with JuJu Watkins and Paige, but they both started out slowly, and now it looks like JuJu Watkins is the favorite. And as long as she doesn't lay an egg against the big matchup with UCLA, I think she's going to win player of the year.
Yep, I think so.
And I think she was always the most talented, but she wasn't playing to her capabilities. I think because she got overhyped in terms of her ability, her drawing ability. And I think she felt the pressure affected her shooting. She lost her confidence, and then she got it back. And I think that's what happened.
I think so also, Mark. And plus, it's a long season. And unfortunately, since they switched the conferences also, I think the factor that they're flying from California to some of their games into Midwest, that kind of does affect you, a little bit as a player.
And the Notre Dame game yesterday was with North Carolina State. I went live for it because I knew that I liked the 2 guards for North Carolina State. As you can see, Hannah Hidalgo shot 8 for 26, and she forced some shots. And that's going to be a problem for her, in terms of player of the year. Olivia Miles didn't shoot well either, 9 for 23. That's why they lost. But Zoe Brooks had her best game of the year. She used to play against Hannah Hidalgo apparently in high school, and she scored 33 points, and she was 14 for 14 at the free throw line. And as Zaya James and Sonia Rivers are actually very good players, although Sonia Rivers is not a good shooter. She's a great defender and passer. So they were very good. So they had 3 really good guards going up against the 3 good guards from Notre Dame, including Sonia Citron. So that was a nice matchup yesterday. It was back and forth a million times, double overtime, and then Notre Dame ran out of gas, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, Brooks, actually, they're both from New Jersey. Her and Hidalgo both from New Jersey, and they were rival schools. And I like the fact the announcer said that they played the same AAU team, but then when they were rival high schools, and then Brooks actually won a championship against Hidalgo with a late 3-pointer to win the game. So that was kind of a neat little side thing. But yeah, Brooks actually, she played a great game. Notre Dame, like you said, I watched the game. They forced up a lot of shots. They come down and take one shot. I'm like, what are you doing? Instead of running their offense. I was really surprised at that.
I think their big problem with Notre Dame is they don't have a lot of height. They don't have a lot of presence underneath the basket, Rob. They don't have rim protector. So it's going to be a problem in the NCAA tournament, possibly.
Their thing is, Marcus, when they get the ball, they can beat you down the court. That's their thing. They can. That's how they came back in the game. They were down, then they came back because they got the rebound and pushed the ball down the court. But like you said, if it comes down where they have a half-court defense, North Carolina State did a nice job. They drove the ball in and they passed it into their big person in there, and she would have an easy basket.
Right. So in terms of player of the year, here's JuJu Watkins' current stats. Here are her stats, Rob. She has started out the year cold, but she's warmed up since then, although her shooting percentage is still not real high. She's having 24.2 points and 6.9 rebounds. And at least this year, she has more assists than turnovers, 3.6 to 3.0. Last year, she had more turnovers than assists. But she's got 2.1 steals and 2.10 blocks. She's one of the best defenders in the country. I think she's a better defender than she is an offensive player because she's shooting 42.8% and 33% from threes, which isn't great. But she is a very good scorer. What do you think of her stats?
I mean, 42 is not bad, Mark. You said she's shooting 42% from the floor?
42.8, yep.
That's not bad, Mark. Believe me, that's really not bad. But what I'm impressed with, like I said, is her defense, and she's cutting down on her turnovers, as you see. that was a big thing at the beginning of the year, was the turnovers. When she played Notre Dame, she had all those, like, at least 8 turnovers against them. That's why they lost. But she's cutting down on the turnovers. And like I said, her defense, when they played UCLA, she had like 2 or 3 key blocks on bets near the end of the game to help them win it.
This is Hidalgo's stats. She's shooting 47.5, which is almost 5% higher, and 39.9 for 3-point. But she has not been as consistent, I think, as of late, and I think that's going to cost her. She's averaging 24.7 points, 5.1 rebounds, and she's she's third in the country in steals at 3.9, and she also has more assists than turnovers, 3.8 to 2.9. But she's shooting a higher percentage than JuJu Watkins. But right now,
most of her shots are when she drives, which I really like. With the analysis, she used to play against her 4 brothers. So in order for her to stay on the court and play with them, she had to like play hard. So it's kind of neat. So she has no fear when she drives to the basket, which I think is a great tribute to her. But it might not carry over into the WNBA, where you got players who are even taller and they will just swat that away. But she somehow gets it up there. So
yeah, she's ferocious. So we'll see what happens in the pros. But right now, it looks like JuJu Watkins is the favorite. Let us know who you think is going to win Player of the Year, and who do you think deserves to win Player of the Year as of today. And did you think that Iowa got hosed last night?
Oh.
I think it's pretty obvious they did. It's too bad, because they're struggling to make they're not in the top 25 anymore. They'll probably get in the tournament, but they're struggling to get a decent seed, I think, right now, Rob.
Right. That's the main thing right now, Mark. With the teams, the last 2 games left, they're fighting for actually with seeding. And yeah, they don't want to end up in SEC division, because that'll be brutal for them.
All right. So let us know what you think about all that. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, what are you waiting for? Make Rob happy. We're close to 6,000 subscribers, and we need your help. And I'm really excited about tonight. We have our first Caitlin Clark's crossover. It's going to be a sports reporters type show with a format. 3 special guests: the very popular Adrian Ross, Rudy from Come On Now podcast, and Ak from Ak Nation TV. All great Caitlin Clark YouTubers. So join us for that at 6 to 7 Eastern time. Our live show is 6 to 8:30. So it's going to be the beginning of our live show. And it's every Monday except for major holidays. And if you want to donate to this channel, you can with super chats and super thanks down below. And there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.